Good day, good morning, good afternoon, you beautiful souls, you beauty makers. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to your weekly dose of sanity. My name's Janina Riccio. I'm president of Yes to Yum Whole Studio, and it's my calling to help design professionals to lead more sane, happy, and prosperous lives while crushing it in business. In my work as a business advisor and a coach, we fix the human messiness and the operational messiness that come just from being human, right? My focus on the human side, the inside job, is about um, remembering the best version of you, stopping self-sabotage, developing a mindset and mental fitness that will help you deal with all that life and this crazy business has to throw at you. And now, what you all do is part technical, part artistic, and part magic. And my work is the same. So, in these sessions, we're going to be exploring tools and ideas from each of those three buckets. I am a lifelong learner. I am a devotee of personal growth and development and a student of neuroscience and also an energy medicine practitioner, for which I have a master certification. And I've also got an MBA and a degree in interior design and decades, I don't want to say how many, of varied work experience. So I'm here to share that all with you to make life more sane. And I call this dose of sanity because so many of the ways we respond to work and to life aren't actually sane. They're reactive, they're rushed, they're fueled by fear and pressure. And now, so you're like, I'm not insane. Well, Oxford defines sanity as reasonable, sensible thinking. And that's what we're practicing here. Nothing super fancy or complicated, just coming back to ourselves. So take a breath, all is well, and you have got this. Each week, we're going to start with some sort of a grounding or mindfulness ritual. And then I'm going to share a simple tool or two with you that you can incorporate for the rest of the week and hopefully beyond. Um, and then we'll close up real quick. And if that sounds good, let's start today with actually grounding. You can go back to one of the earlier weekly doses of sanity where I did the whole session on grounding. So you might want to revisit that. But real quickly, close your eyes if that feels okay for you, or you can just look down. Sit with a straight and relaxed spine, legs uncrossed, feet flat on the floor, and just start to notice your breath. Let breathing be the only thing you're doing right now. And of course, your mind is going to keep going. That's what the thinker does. It thinks. So thoughts are going to pop up. You might even notice some feelings come up. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. Just keep bringing your attention back to your breath and bringing it back and bringing it back. That's all meditation is. And nobody does this perfectly. Okay, so keep that focus on your breath. Maybe you notice the temperature of air as it enters your nostrils and the temperature of air as it exits your nostrils. You may want to start slowing down your inhales and exhales. And if you can actually have your exhales be longer than your inhales, that's very calming to your nervous system. I have allergies here, so pardon me for touching my face so much. Spring has sprung. Okay, so we're breathing. And then just maybe expand your awareness to your whole body and notice your feet on the floor and notice your seat in the chair and everywhere that your amazing, strong, beautiful body touches the chair. Take a moment to say thank you to your body. Say hello with reverence for how hard it works every day to keep you here and get you here. Um, and we are going to connect with the low, slow, deep heartbeat of the Earth, and it does have a heartbeat. It has an electromagnetic resonance called the Schumann resonance. Um, and it is very low and slow and deep, and it's cool science if you want to Google it. It has to do with like flares on the sun or lightning storms, all the lightning strikes that hit the Earth. But trust me to say that the resonance of the Earth's energy is the same as your brain's alpha waves, and alpha waves are those when we're sleeping and really in the sort of rest and digest nervous system. So this is the good stuff. We don't need to take a pill for it. We can just get it from Mother Earth. So I want you to do a few things and trust the very first thing that comes to your mind. We're going to drop a grounding line from the base of your spine down to the center of the earth. And whatever first popped into your mind when I said grounding line, just use it. Don't judge it. Don't make up another thing. That's your intuition. That's how your body wants to be grounded to the earth today. So take whatever that line is, hook it to the base of your spine, and imagine it slicing like a hot knife through butter through all the layers of the earth beneath you, the floor and the foundation of where you are, the topsoil, the heavier clay soil, past the root balls of trees, past mineral deposits, past underground caves and rivers, and even underground oceans, past stalactites and stalagmites and crystal deposits, going deeper, 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 all the way down to the center, that core of the earth, that beautiful crystalline core of the earth. And when you get there, you see your name written in golden script. And that's your spot. You're going to plug your grounding line right into that spot. Take a nice exhale and just imagine all your emotional energy falling low to the ground, and it's going to go down that grounding line, and the earth is going to repurpose that energy and grow beautiful flowers. So you don't need it. You can also intend anybody else's energy you're holding on to. Just let it go down that line. The beauty of energy work is you just have to intend it. Energy will follow your intention. Okay, so that's step one is we are now grounded to the center of the earth with that grounding line. Step two, if you imagine you have chakras on the bottoms of your feet, if you imagine them opening up like the lens of a camera or a vegetable steamer or the pupil of your eye, open them up as big as beach balls and just intend that you're going to start taking in earth energy through those chakras all the way up the length of your legs. It's going to swirl around your pelvic bowl and clean out whatever it isn't serving you that's there and go back down that grounding line and take with it, like I said, take with it the stuff you don't want and repurpose it to grow flowers. And then just imagine a circuit coming up through your feet, up your legs, through your pelvis, back down that line. Just keep running that circuit of that low, slow energy, and maybe you get a sense or a hit of what earth energy is or looks like for you. It could be a color, it could be a sound, it could be a feeling, it could be an element, um, a shape, a number, whatever comes to you when you imagine earth energy. Just imagine that running through this circuit. And we'll set the intention that that circuit just keeps running throughout this call and even beyond if you want it to. I'll let you take a few breaths while you do that. I'll take a sip of coffee. And just while your eyes are still closed, as it's getting into the warmer months, I really encourage you to go outside and spend 5 to 10 minutes a day barefoot on the earth, not on concrete, not on asphalt, on some kind of grass or dirt or sand, the beach, um, and really soak in that earth energy. It's great for inflammation. It's very healing. In the grounding session, I shared a link to a movie about earthing. Some people call it earthing or grounding and the healing benefits. So I know we could stay here all day. It feels so yummy, but I'm going to invite you to open your eyes. And today we are getting a little more into the very practical, very nitty-gritty KPIs or key performance indicators of your interior design business, and specifically related to the P&L or the profit and loss statement, which there's also a session on the P&L if you want to go back and hear it for the first time or revisit that one. So I'm going to share with you the 4 or 5 top um, numbers that you should be looking at every month to keep on top of the health of your business, the financial health anyway. And so let me share that with you. Give me a moment. Okay, so you are seeing my other screen. This is your simple monthly dashboard. Feel free to take a screenshot or write these down, and I'm going to talk about each of them. Um, so first we've got your revenue, and this is for the trailing 12 last 12 months. And now this hard number of 80 to 90,000 is just an example. Um, This would be for a company that's either it's still just a founder and an assistant, or maybe coming into that, what I call the messy middle of, around 700 to 900,000 of revenue, where you're starting to become an actual like organization, and maybe you're going to hire another designer full time. Um, so that top line revenue number may be different for you. You might be like 90,000 a month. I only do 100 a year. That's okay. These other percentages will still apply to you. So this gives you an idea of just the overall momentum of the business. In an ideal world, this number would be growing at about 10 to 20% annually, not every month, but annually. And it can also be a signal of either pipeline or capacity problems. So if this number's going down, it might mean, you need to get some new projects. That's what I mean by pipeline, or a capacity issue. If it's gone up and sort of leveled off, it might be just because however many people you have, they can't possibly bill anymore unless they were working 24 hours a day, which we never want to have anybody do. So you might need to add another person. That's sort of a manpower issue. All right, the gross profit, and now this applies to an interior design firm that's selling furnishings. Your gross profit is your total revenue minus the cost of goods that you're selling, which is, the furnishings you're buying. I know some firms buy materials like tile and plumbing, all of that. And so you want that to be in the 45 to 55% range. And this is the core engine of profitability in your firm. Um, if it's dipping below 45, that's a signal that something's wrong. You either need to raise your prices, maybe people aren't billing enough of their time, meaning in my firm, we always had a target of the principals, their target was 50% billable time, but any employees or staff were at 90% billable. Really, almost everything they would be doing, except maybe cleaning up the office, should be project related. So there could be an issue there. There could be some issues with your procurement, or maybe the amount you're marking things up. So this is a really important number to be looking at all the time. Around 50%. Starts to dip below that. Um, you want to dig into why. Okay. Um, Payroll as a percent of revenue. This is your largest sort of controllable cost, and it can be an area where where we tend to overspend. So the target range is, between 30 and 38%. Let's call it 35% for a round number. And so this can either be an indication of overstaffing, understaffing, or low productivity. If the number is really low, way below the 35%, well, then it probably means that you could add somebody and you could be billing a lot more and making a lot more profit. Excuse me. Um, then we've got revenue per employee. And this is kind of a big range because it really does depend on the stage of your business. If you're a solopreneur or you've got, you know, 10 staff. Um, but, the general range is 225,000 to 325,000. This is also going to be a little bit more to the lower end when you're doing furnishings because a good chunk of your revenue is going to be coming from furnishings, not billable time. So if you're not selling furniture and you're just T&M and you're just billing your hours, you should be at the higher revenue per employee side of this range of 225 to 325. I usually, just for simplicity, call it 250K. Um, Another one, because the gross profit is so important, is the gross profit per employee. Um, because furnishings can kind of distort revenue. This one, the range I like to talk about is like 170 to 220,000 in gross profit per employee. Um, if if you're getting below 170, if you're at like 160K per employee of gross profit, then your team capacity is probably getting a bit stretched. Um, And so, yeah, I like this one because it can cut through the distortion of large product purchases when you're moving a lot of purchases through the books. And then lastly is just the net profit. So that's your revenue minus your cost of goods is going to give you your gross profit. And then all of your operating expenses, payroll, rent, insurance, benefits, software, all of that. Those are your operating expenses. So your gross profit minus those operating expenses is going to give you your net profit. And that really a healthy range can be from 10 to 20%. 10% is getting kind of low. I like to look for if you're near 15, you're doing good. Really profitable firms are going to be at that 20%. And hey, why not go for that? Um, but if you're, below 10, your margin is getting kind of squeezed and you want to look at really closely at your expenses. Um, maybe the team or maybe just the team grew faster than revenue did. There's really not a deep accounting analysis required here. Um, And what I like about this dashboard is that it keeps the leaders focused on the three key levers that you can actually control. Pricing and procurement margins. This is going to affect your gross profit. And I can tell you that 99% of you who are listening to this could raise your profit, your pricing, your billable rate. Whatever it is right now, you could probably increase it 30%, and I'm not kidding. We very much undervalue and underprice. And ironically, a lot of people think, well, oh, I'm gonna lose projects. Well, no, you're gonna get better projects because there is a perception of pricing that, oh, I'm paying more, so I'm getting a better service. When we keep our fees really low, we're gonna get the people who don't really have the budgets. Um, and that's okay now and then, but it that cramps your creativity, it cramps your profitability for sure. A lot of people I see end up doing, oh, a little extra work, just because they don't want to upset the client, but they're really not paying for what they're getting. So pricing and procurement margins affects your gross profit, that more top line. Team structure and utilization, that's going to affect things like payroll and productivity, um, which you do have control over. And then project mix and pipeline is going to affect your very top line, that revenue growth. So those are the three things you do have some agency over: your pricing and procurement margins, your team structure and utilization, like how much they're billing, how I don't like the word productivity, how utilized they are, and then your project mix and pipeline. Um, so when these numbers line up within these goals, the business usually feels kind of calm instead of constantly strained. Um, And so that's really it. Your dashboard you should be looking at monthly. I will say that often a lot of businesses, design businesses, don't actually have a profit problem. They have a structure problem. So when roles, pricing, procurement systems align, the numbers tend to fall in place naturally. Um, and so, nothing super magical there. Uh, that is really simple, effective. If you are doing a P&L every month, or your bookkeeper is, and I highly suggest that you should be doing that. This will take you 5 minutes to calculate, not even. All right. Well, I'm really grateful for you participating today. I'm grateful that you took 30 minutes or so, 25, for yourself and for your business. These videos get posted on my YouTube channel at Janine Aricchio, Y number two Y for yes to yum. And while you're there, please like and subscribe. And as you head into your week, just remember you get to choose how you show up, and that really all is well, and you have got this. So have a great week.